May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. Amen. Just a week ago, this place was filled with shouts of Alleluia, with ringing bells and even a cymbal crash or two, all proclaiming joyfully and confidently the resurrection of Jesus. I enjoyed attending the Easter Vigil with you all on Saturday night, where we celebrated the new life of baptism. And on Sunday morning, Father Denicky invited you all to reflect on the ways in which, like Mary Magdalene on Easter morning, we have seen the Lord in this place. But this week, the glow is off the Easter lilies. This week, we meet Thomas. Thomas, who says, not, I have seen the Lord, but, yeah, right. It is significant that the Doubting Thomas reading always falls on the second Sunday of Easter, no matter which year of the lectionary we're in. The week after Easter, we are always confronted with doubt. Now, doubt can be a touchy subject for people of faith. Somewhere along the line, we've been told that faith is the opposite of doubt. And so we get a little nervous and even threatened when doubt rears its stubborn head. It seems to beg a response. We feel we must say something about it, do something about it, explain it in some way. We see this impulse in the usual responses to the story of Thomas. In general, it seems people want to read the story of Thomas as a commentary on the inherent value of doubt. Thomas is either vilified for having doubts, or he is praised for being a thinking Christian. Those who see Thomas's doubts as an indication of his weak faith often point to Jesus' words to Thomas, "Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are they who have not seen and yet have come to believe." While those who see Thomas's doubts in a positive light wax philosophic about how the fact that one of the disciples, a disciple the church tradition holds, goes on to spread Christianity as far as India, by the way, the fact that this disciple doubts the resurrection surely means that we, with our sometimes shaky and doubtful faith, can accomplish such great things ourselves. If I had to choose, I tend to fall into the latter category, but really, I think both of these attempts to evaluate the worth of doubt actually miss the point. The fact of the matter is, doubt is neither an indication of a weak faith, nor an indication of a strong faith. Doubt simply is. Doubt is a fundamental part of the human experience, as inevitable as breathing. The question is not whether we should have doubts. It is inevitable that we will, but in how we should respond. And in this sense, the Thomas story can prove useful, for it provides a model for how to live with doubt in a community of faith. Let's look again closely at the actions of this doubting Thomas. The other disciples tell him that Jesus has been raised from the dead, which strikes him as preposterous. "Yeah, right," he says. "Unless I see it for myself, I will not believe it." And here's the first lesson that Thomas has for us. Thomas is honest. He's upfront and open about his doubts. He doesn't go along with the crowd. He doesn't say what he or others think he should say. He's honest about where he is, in a place of extreme skepticism about this whole resurrection story. The second thing Thomas does is choose to return to the community of the faithful, even with his doubts. He shows up. Somehow, in all my readings of the story, I've always missed the fact that Jesus' appearance to Thomas actually comes a week after the disciples first tell Thomas of their encounters with the risen Lord. Thomas has a whole week's time to chew on this crazy story, to decide whether he's going to return to the community of the faithful or jump ship from this bunch of crazy lunatics he somehow got mixed up with. And he chooses to return. And because he chooses to return, because he chooses to show up, he is present the next time Jesus appears to the disciples. He doesn't miss it this time.